Happy Tolkien Reading Day! I thought long and hard what I wanted to do with this video because, as you know, I am quite fond of Tolkien and all his works. And I thought, how many of you read books in different languages? How many of you hear books in different languages? Books that you might know, sentences you might know. I didn't think that would be too many of you, unless you're bilingual, as I try to be. So I thought, in celebration of Tolkien, I would just compare the beginning of The Hobbit in English and The Hobbit in Norwegian. Though it has to be said, this kind of Norwegian is not the typical Norwegian. This is like the second Norwegian that we have. It's the one that I use, and it's the one that I find most pretty. Completely subjective. I'm sorry that my reading might not be as good as other people's reading, but I'm going to try my best. And you might already know the beginning of The Hobbit. I don't know. Let's see. Do you? An unexpected party. In a hole in the ground lived a hobbit, not a nasty, dirty, wet hole, filled with the ends of worms and an oozy smell, nor yet a dry, bare, sandy hole, with nothing in it to sit down on, or to eat. It was a hobbit hole, and that means comfort. It had a perfectly round door, like a porthole, painted green, with a shiny yellow brass knob in the exact middle. The door opened onto a tube-shaped hall like a tunnel. A very comfortable tunnel, without smoke, with panelled walls and floors tiled and carpeted, provided with polished chairs, and lots of pegs for hats and coats. The hobbit was fond of visitors. The tunnel wound on, going fairly but not quite straight into the side of the hill, as all the people for many miles round called it, and many little round doors opened out of it, first on one side and then on another. No going upstairs for the hobbit. Bedrooms, bathrooms, cellars, pantries, lots of these. Wardrobes. He had whole rooms devoted to clothes. Kitchens, dining rooms, all were on the same floor, and indeed on the same passage. The best rooms were all on the left-hand side, going in. For these were the only ones who had windows, deep-set round windows, looking over his garden and meadows beyond, sloping down to the river. In a hole in the ground there lived a hobbit. That is a pretty well-known beginning of a book. You might not have read The Hobbit but heard this. You might have seen the film. I thought now you've heard the English version, which you might know, you might not. You might like to hear my version, the one I grew up with. Et uventet gjestebåd. I et hål I marka bodde en hobbit. Ikke et ufjert skitvår og våtthål, fylt med makk og sure eimar. Og heller ikke et tørt, bært sandhål, uten noe å sitte på eller ete. Det var et hobbithål. Og det tyder trivsel. Det hadde ei fullkommen rund dør som likna ei kuauge, grønmåla med et skinnende gult messinghåndtak, beint I midten. Døra åpna seg til ei røyrforma hall som likna en gang, en svært trivelig gang uten røyk, med trekledde vegger og gulvtile med teppe over, og tot nypussa stoler og mengd på mengd med krokar til å henge hattar og frakkar på. Hobbitar var glad I gjester. Gangen svinga videre et stykke på veg, men ikke helt meint inn I siden av haugen. Haugen, som alle folk kaller det I mils omkrins. Det var også mange små runde dører på hver side av gangen, først på den ene siden, så på den hi. Hobbiten hadde ingen trappe, soverom, baderom, kjellarer, matbø, mengder av dem, kleskott. Han nådde hele rom som bare inneholder klede. Kjøkken, stover, alt var på samme gulvet, og jammer det samme gangen. De beste rommene var alle på venstre side. Når han kom inn, da disse var det eneste som hadde vindauget, djupt innsette, runde glas som vendte mot hagen hans, og vangene bortom og hallene ned mot elva. You might find this completely disinteresting and utter rubbish, and I am sorry, but I don't. I find it fascinating. I find it fascinating that the same story can have so many languages. Tolkien was very fond of languages. He made up several languages, including several Elvish languages, all based on what is believed to be Norse, Scandinavian, Norwegian, and probably some Old English. If you, as a reader, read this book in a different language, it is almost as if that was Tolkien's language without it being, because you don't know the language. But the fact that people can read these stories in so many languages that we don't understand, I find that utterly fascinating, and I like to listen to them. I like to know how they sound. Darn it, I like languages, and I'm rubbish at them. What I was trying to do with showing this is that one story can have so many different variations. And even if you don't learn Norwegian and learn how to read The Hobbit in Norwegian, I do want you to try to read some Tolkien, because if you haven't, I think you might enjoy it. My point being, no matter what age you are, kid, grown up, something in the middle, I think you might enjoy Tolkien, because he's written so much, and I think it was because he loved languages so much and history. These books are amazing. It is a small, nice book. It's not long at all. It's a short book. And you might not be like me, who love Lord of the Rings so much that I physically can't handle it, or have friends that love Lord of the Rings so much that they actually believe they are Frodo. Morgan, I hope you use the day to maybe read something you haven't read before, even if it's not Tolkien. Just try something new and try something fantastical. Now, I know that little word weaver here at YouTube, Morgan, is also making a video for today, because she is also a massive Tolkien fan. So you should probably check her out and see what she does. I'm guessing it's going to be cool, because she's cool. Not as cool as me. Anyway, go check her out, and I'll see you soon.